BMW's new bike model just destroyed Harley Davidson once and for all. With aggressive new styling and a price tag that undercuts Harley's big cruisers, this is a direct hit to their pride. And wait until you hear the insider detail about this launch that Harley's desperately trying to keep under wraps. Harley's been selling this whole nostalgia fantasy. Leather jackets, loud pipes, big price tags, like it's 1985 forever. But here comes BMW with the new R1300R, looking like it just stepped out of a fight club and straight onto Harley's front lawn. And honestly, it's about time someone showed up with a bike that doesn't just promise power, but actually delivers it without weighing you down with 10 pounds of heritage marketing. This thing isn't some mild update from last year's model. No, BMW scrapped the chill, all-rounder vibes of the R1250R and went full-on aggressive with the redesign. You can feel the attitude change just by looking at it. This is muscle bike territory now, but with that German precision engineering, Harley's never quite managed to match. The R1300R is throwing out numbers Harley fans probably don't even want to hear. 145 horsepower and almost 150 newton meters of torque. That's not just keep up with traffic power. That's Harley, I'll see you in my mirrors power. And here's the kicker, it's doing it while being far more agile than those heavyweight barges Harley calls motorcycles. And while Harley's out here asking for a small fortune for their flagship models, BMW's sliding in with a starting price of £13,200. Yeah, you heard me right. You can get this beast for less than a lot of Harley's big-name cruisers, and that's before you even talk about all the tech, comfort, and actual performance you're getting. BMW's basically saying, hey, you want something that rides better, feels faster, and doesn't cost you your retirement savings? Because that's exactly who they're targeting. People who are done paying for brand history and want something built for now, not for the photo wall in a 1950s diner. And that redesign? Oh, they didn't hold back. Everything about the R1300R screams that BMW wants to drop the sensible old man's bike image. New frame, new subframe, new bodywork. It's all aimed at making this thing look like it owns the street. The wide front stance with that signature boxer twin, it doesn't just sit there politely, it's glaring at you like it knows it can take your lunch money. It's got diamond cut wheels with rim stripes, bold finishes, and none of the fake vintage nonsense Harley's addicted to. This is the difference between a muscle bike and a bike that's just dressed like one. And can we talk about the headlight? BMW's gone and integrated radar into it. Not only does it make the front end look like it belongs in 2035, but it powers the kind of rider assist features Harley's still pretending don't matter. It's that mix of style and actual function that really stings for Harley fans, because deep down they know no amount of chrome is going to replace modern tech. And if you thought BMW was just going to stop at a pretty face, nope. They've already rolled out a factory custom version that's a nitrous-powered drag racer. That's not a commuter bike move. That's BMW walking into Harley's favorite bar and ordering their drinks stronger and faster. But the engine is where things really get unfair. A 1,300cc boxer twin, pumping out 145 horsepower and nearly 150 newton meters of torque, more than the old R1250R, and tuned to rev happier and faster. And that's thanks to a more over-square design that just wants to climb the revs while still giving you that bottom-end grunt. Shift cam variable valve timing means you're not stuck choosing between top-end power or low-end torque. You get both. It's like BMW figured out the perfect balance, while Harley's still trying to make the same air-cooled engines pass emissions tests without losing half their soul. Now, Harley likes to talk about how their bikes are made for the open road and spirited riding. But let's be honest, most of them handle twisty roads like they're allergic to leaning. The R1300R. This thing is optimized for exactly that. It slots right between the comfort and versatility of the old R1250R, and the outright aggression of BMW's S1000R. You can throw it into corners and actually have fun without wondering if you're about to scrape half the bike off on the asphalt. And it's not just power for power's sake, it's stability, grip, and the kind of confidence that makes you want to ride harder just because you can. Even the quick shifters got personality. On the downshifts, it's pure joy. Smooth blips that make you feel like a pro racer. On the upshifts, yeah, it's a little mechanical, but a quick dip of the clutch smooths it out and you're off again. It's the kind of thing that adds character without actually getting in your way. Harley fans would call it quirky if they had it, but here it's just another part of the package that makes the R1300R feel alive. And here's something Harley can't match. This bike manages to be heavy enough to feel rock solid at speed, but still agile enough for proper aggressive cornering. Harley's heavy means good luck in traffic and say goodbye to your lower back after a long ride. BMW's heavy means stable on the straights, planted in the corners, and actually fun to throw around. It's the kind of balance that's going to make a lot of Harley owners wonder why they're paying extra for a bike that doesn't do half this stuff as well. BMW's not just here to play in Harley's sandbox, they've brought their own, and it's bigger, faster, and smarter. They've ditched the safe, middle ground design of the old R1250R and built something that can go head-to-head with Harley's best on looks, crush them on performance, and then drive away laughing on price. And it's not wrapped up in some phony Live the Legacy campaign. It's just a straight-up better bike for riders who care about riding more than posing. That's the real problem for Harley. The ER1300R isn't trying to be a Harley. It's not playing the nostalgia game. It's playing the let's actually make a motorcycle worth the money game. And when you've got the kind of specs BMW's packing, 145 horsepower, nearly 150 newton meters torque, starting at 13,200 pounds, all wrapped in a bike that looks like it's ready to drag race you on the way to the cafe. Well, suddenly all that talk about chrome and heritage starts to sound pretty hollow. Because here's the truth. BMW's not knocking politely on Harley's door. They've kicked it in, parked the R1300R in the living room, and left the engine running. And for riders who've been waiting for something new, something that actually feels like a step forward instead of a glossy reprint of the past, this bike is going to feel like exactly what they've been waiting for. BMW didn't just give the R1300R more power and a meaner face. They reworked the way you sit on it so you feel like you're in charge, not just along for the ride. The lower, flatter handlebars put you more forward, which instantly makes the bike feel more alive in your hands compared to the R1250R's laid back, I'll get there eventually setup. You've got that sportier posture without committing to full-on superbike pretzel mode, which means you can muscle it around in corners but still ride it all day without feeling like you've been in a medieval torture chair. Seat height? 810 millimeters in stock form, and BMW's not leaving shorter or taller riders out of the fun. They've got accessory options to raise or lower it, so you can get a perfect fit without compromising the bike's geometry. And then there's the peg placement, still relaxed enough that your knees aren't screaming after an hour, which is a miracle when a bike's this capable in the corners. It's like BMW actually thought about human comfort instead of assuming bigger, heavier, louder automatically equals better. Now, here's where Harley riders might want to sit down. The suspension. BMW's optional dynamic ESA semi-active setup isn't just a buzzword salad. This thing's got a variable spring rate, which means you can dial it anywhere from plush touring mode to firm sport mode with a button press. And it's not some gimmick, you actually feel the difference. 1 minute you're soaking up potholes like a lounge chair on wheels. The next you're tightening everything up so the bike feels sharp and planted in the twisties. It's the kind of range Harley touring rigs can only dream of, unless you're ready to throw thousands at aftermarket parts. Braking is just as refined. Those dual radial monoblock calipers up front with the sport brake pack have serious stopping power, because let's be real, a bike this fast needs it. but they're not grabby or twitchy. The lever feel is progressive, which is perfect if you've got a passenger or you're hauling luggage. You get all the control without the panic stop drama. And with that long wheelbase and stable geometry, the R1300R's rock solid at speed, but still genuinely fun to throw into a corner. Harley's big cruisers? Sure, they're stable in a straight line, so is a freight train. But try hustling one through a set of bends and see how fun it feels. Then we get to the tech, and this is where Harley really starts looking like they've been asleep at the wheel. The R1300R's got advanced radar-based active cruise control, which doesn't just hold your speed, it actually adjusts to traffic in front of you. There's collision warning, and if the bike thinks you're not paying attention, it can even pulse the brakes to get your focus back. Harley's still bragging about cruise control like it's cutting edge, while BMW's over here playing with automotive-level safety features. And yeah, BMW's got automated hill hold control for traffic starts. You can turn it off if you hate it, but in stop and go, city riding, or when you're loaded down on a hill, it's a nice bit of backup. Then there's the optional automated shift assistant. This isn't just a quick shifter, it can handle the clutch and shifting completely, letting you ride it in full automatic mode if you want. Imagine a bike with this much performance that can still be as easy to operate as a scooter when you're stuck in traffic. Harley can't touch that. The electronic customization is just as nuts. Multiple ride modes let you change the bike's personality on the fly. Adjustable braking response tailors, how aggressive your stopping power feels, and suspension damping presets mean you can set it up exactly how you like. You're not locked into one take it or leave it setup. It adapts to you, not the other way around. And the price? This thing starts at 13,200 pounds. Even when you throw on the dynamic pack, luxury finishes, billet accessories, all the fancy toys, you're looking at 17,500 to 18,000 pounds. Compare that to Harley's top-tier cruisers and tourers that regularly sail past $20,000 with less tech, less performance, and less adaptability. And it's not even close. BMW's delivering more bike for less money, and they know exactly what they're doing. Which brings us to the real sting for Harley. This isn't just about specs on paper. The R1300R is a threat because it's delivering exactly what a new generation of riders wants. More power than Harley's closest competitors, electronics that make riding safer and more fun, and styling that feels modern and aggressive instead of clinging to the past. Harley's been banking on heritage as their golden ticket, but riders under 50 are showing up with different priorities. They care about performance and tech over brand nostalgia, and BMW's giving it to them in one very sharp package. So, if you thought Harley's days were numbered before, this BMW just set the countdown clock. Subscribe now, because the next brand on the chopping block might shock you even more.